From the very beginning, English was a subject I always struggled with. Not speaking, but when it came to reading and writing, I always did horribly. The words would just dance around my head. My English scores, they always hovered around 45 to 50%, meaning I always did terribly in my exams. As I started growing older, I noticed that my friends started developing shared interests in books like Harry Potter or the Percy Jackson, and I often remained silent during their conversations because I never really understood the fascination of reading so much. In basic terms, my hatred towards studying English and doing all the assignments increased, but my grades decreased just as much. It was around 2019 where I had to prepare for the most important tournament of my life. It was the African Continental Chess Championship, where I was representing Kenya and had to train for around 9 hours a day. Part of my training required me to complete this massive 500-page book called The Woodpecker Method, all about strategizing and mastering the art of tactics and to think ahead, like 15 to 20 moves ahead. And I had to finish it in under 15 days. That was insane. As you can imagine, I was going absolutely insane. I had never ever read a book that had more than 2 pages in it, and I had to read this now. Are you kidding me? So I even asked my mom as a joke, "Hey mom, am I dyslexic?" And she looked at me and she started laughing because she knew how much I struggled. At this point, I just got so frustrated because I had to finish the book in under 2 weeks for the tournament, and I hadn't done anything. So I decided to listen to some music to escape from the reality, and I listened to rap music and I wanted to sing along, but I didn't know the lyrics. So I switched it on my computer screen and I started singing. You must be thinking, what has singing got to do with any of this? Well, it actually played a huge role because when I was singing, I found myself reading the lyrics at a surprisingly fast pace. And I asked myself, how is this possible when I'm singing, but not when I'm trying to read a book? This led to a realization that my subconscious mind had developed a technique of skim reading the top half of sentences when I'm singing so that I don't miss the word. And excited by this discovery, I decided to try it out on a book, The Woodpecker Method. And while I was able to read quickly, I found that the information was still not being absorbed. So I tried a different approach. I reread the text at a slower pace while visualizing the content in my mind. This method allowed me to remember what I was reading while also read it at a surprisingly fast pace. And although with this newfound technique I couldn't finish the entire book, I did manage to read around 350 pages, which was a lot. And I guess it kind of helped me because ultimately I ended up winning the championship. After this, my struggles with English slowly started to fade away. I finally discovered my own effective reading technique. Skim reading the text to make a rough idea of what it is about, and then rereading the text again at a slower pace while visualizing the information, which led to a significant improvement in my English grades, jumping to around 80 to 85%. As I reflect on my journey with English and how it has shaped me as a writer today, I realize that the techniques I developed to overcome my struggles with reading and retaining knowledge have had a significant impact on my approach to writing. Just as I learned how to visualize the content while reading slowly, I now apply a similar method to my writing process. Before putting my pen to paper, I take a second or two to visualize the structure and flow of how my essay would be, ensuring that my ideas are organized logically and effectively. This helps me stay more focused and ensures that my writing can communicate my thoughts more clearly to the reader. My literacy event has not only given me practical skills for reading and writing, but has also provided a mindset of continuous improvement and adaptability, something which I clearly lacked before English because I always wanted to give up on my English and reading. And as I continue to grow as a writer, I carry with me the lessons that I learned from English. Lessons of creativity and the ability to find your own unique approach to reading, speaking, and writing like a writer. Thank you for listening to my short narrative, and I hope you're able to find your own unique solution to a problem you're facing.